some time or a day in your life, just listen briefly. You can visit a farmer, a very good farmer, a strong farmer, a serious farmer, and you find everything is looking beautiful. You reach the tomatoes that Christina grows, the organic tomatoes, and they are looking very good. You see the things like grapes, you see things like the oranges, and you're like, oh my God, this year I'm starting my farming journey. And you make a decision of that kind. You're starting to farm. You've seen everything is looking very good, very beautiful. So before you continue with your farming journey, there are some mistakes farmers, the beginners, always make. Personally, I made very many because there was nobody like to guide me how to farm effectively. So today, for this video, I want you, a beginner, somebody who has been watching me and you're like, yes, I can also farm like this lady and I do it even better than her. And that is what I want, such that you, the farmer out there who has been watching me, has been copying some skills from me, you add yours and it becomes wow. So before you continue, there are some mistakes we need to avoid early. And I want you to farm with ease, with confidence, such that whatever you put in the ground, it will flourish. Welcome to my channel, Christina, the principal farmer. For today's video, we don't even want to waste time. I want to show you some of the mistakes beginners make. And after making them, you're like, now what can I do? What is the way forward? Don't be like that. Number one mistake that you should avoid: planting very many crops. You see oranges for Christine, you want them. You see the tomatoes, you want them. You see some green peppers from somewhere, you want them. The kales that Christina grows, you plant around 20 of these things at your go. Very many crops at your farm doesn't mean being a successful farmer. It will constrain you in one way or the other. Personally, when I started, I had green peppers at the farm. I'm telling you the truth, guys. I had tomatoes, I could grow them almost covering all the entire my banana gardens. I could grow a lot of garden eggs, a lot of eggplants, until when I had to scale down, I was like, oh, all these things, they reach a time they need to be sprayed. They need different pesticides to be managed. It was so constraining. It was really tough for me. So for today, for you, a beginner who is watching, please farm with ease because you've watched this very video. Subscribe, be part of this journey because we have a lot. We want to make you a better farmer. We've gone through this. We don't want you to make the same mistake. So I had to scale down and I was like, yes, what can I do? What can I farm with a lot of ease? No much work on it, but I can still get a successful story. So I had to scale down. 50% goes to bananas. I picked it as my crop number one. My crop number two, what can I do? I have chicken. Let them be there. Take something like 25%. I went to another thing. I was like, yes, vegetables. I cannot do without them. Let them take 15%. The remaining crops, I do them strictly for home consumption at a very, very little percentage. You want them? Come and pick a seedling from me, not producing for the entire community. I no longer do that. Number two, what you're going to do, avoid this kind of a mistake. We'll finish. We are not planting very many. Number two, what you're going to do, don't plan for peak seasons. You're like, yes, everybody is saying tomatoes make a lot of money. You farm them. You'll use them to feed your chicken because there will be too many. Nobody wants to buy. Everybody has in his or her own house, kitchen. What will you do with them? Are you ready to process them to another level, add value? If you're not, please watch this video till the end. I want to greet the ladies out there who are farming with me. Helen, yes, a thumb up. I have another one called Dora Amoa from Ghana. Yes, this lady told me sincerely we are the hunger-free community. I was like, wow, the community is growing. People are really getting convinced that we who are on this channel, we are the hunger-free communities. We have to do whatever it takes to create hunger-free communities. Subscribe also, be part of this journey. Don't be left out. Number three, what you should avoid while you are at the farm, while you have started this farming journey. You may be a farmer of vegetables, fruits, like Christina. I love vegetables, I love fruits. One time it came a season and we had harvested. They had fruited a lot. I had oranges. They had fruited like there was no tomorrow. Sell your product at a prevailing price. Yes, it may be too little and you're like, sincerely, I've been farming these things for the entire 3-4 months and the money they are going to give me so little. If they are rotting, then what is the purpose of keeping them? Sell at that prevailing price. And if it is really fruits, these things keep producing. Every season, they keep coming back. Unless you're going to cut down the tree. But for us, we are not like these people who are farming corn, maize, things of that kind. So, sell at a prevailing price. You'll be able still to survive and have something to put in your pocket, however little it will be. The last but not the least of this very video, don't compromise with the quality of your farm products. Yes, you may reach somewhere and you're like, oh, I think I have a lot. What can I do? Then you start compromising. You're not adding manure because you don't have the money to ferry them from here to there. You'll get poor quality products. And poor quality products, nobody wants to look at them. Nobody. Please, farm quality. Don't compromise. They need pesticides. Watch the organic pesticides we've always put out for you. Try. That's why at the beginning I had to tell you that you can copy a few things from Christina, then you add a few things of your own concoctions. A thumb up, you'll be able to grow. Your farm will grow and you become a better farmer. It is very much possible. It is mission possible. I've tried it on my own. I don't want you to go through the same mistakes I went through. Please, farm and see success coming your way. The conclusion on this, the concluding part or bit on this, never give up. Yes, never give up. You've started farming with all this passion. It is the passion that is going to keep you or make you a better farmer, not money. I repeat that statement. It's the passion that is going to keep you farming, not money. Yes, I've seen farms with money collapsing. Yes, I've seen farms with money collapsing. But if you have the passion, you're like, yes, I need to see my veggies looking good year in, year out. They will look good year in, year out. As I sum up, you need the grace of God to give you a balanced rainfall and sunshine without that man being above there. You may either get too much rain and everything is flooded. There are even times then when storms can affect crops and you don't harvest. Sunshine can scorch everything down and you're like, oh my God, what is this? What can I do to my farm? What can I do to my garden? So we need the grace of God to keep shielding us from those kind of negativity at our farm, from those kinds of challenges at our farm. Together we are going to create very many hunger-free communities. It is very much possible. I want to thank the ladies out there. Please keep farming. You make me really smile when I said lady out there and it's like, yes, I'm also doing it because you have motivated me. I enjoy it. I love it. The gentleman, don't say she hates us. Please keep farming. Farming is so beautiful if we have the passion. Two together, we shall, the grace of God, the passion, hard work, consistency, we are going to be successful farmers. I love you, family. You've made me what I am. I always get challenges in the communities when I move out. Challenging questions coming on this channel. They have made me a stronger farmer because the passion is there. The grace of God has been sufficient. Those who thought a year or two I'll quit, I'm here, still farming by the grace of God, and we shall do more. I'm sure about that. Love you, family. We have a lot to do. Let me just wish you a good day, a good evening, wherever you are. Please stay blessed in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Love you, family. Thanks.